Hello everyone, Rufi here with another play and explain video for you guys. Today we're back at the Microstakes streets, but not on GG, on CoinPoker. Kind of a site that's been getting a lot of attention lately, and I think it's a great alternative for many of you. I'll explain the reasons why. But in the meantime, let's get into the first hand in the top left here. Let's start off with a 3-bet against cutoff open. And yeah, hopefully not facing a 4-bet. Should be calling, but it's not great, but we just take it down. And yeah, let's see if we can get some interesting hands. Just regular tables, there's no rush and cash, but generally that's what I would recommend anyway. For all of you playing, just those tend to be more profitable. Let's check behind the pocket deuces here and check it over. Seems to be a recreational, so that's good. And let's close this table. We already have another table going on. We see a 2x overbet. We're just gonna fold up pocket deuces. So why do you think this side is a good alternative for many of you? Well, first of all, or the main big difference here compared to other regular tables is that they have antes, which, you know, changes the preflop ranges a little bit, forces you to play a bit wider. And if you put in a little bit of effort, study the ranges a little bit, it's quite easy to get an advantage over the other regulars, compared to somebody who, you know, just sticks to their normal 6 max ranges that they've learned previously. So I think you can get an advantage that way. Just forces you to play wider, and you know, generally from what we have seen, or from what you guys also seen from the rush and cash pools, everybody plays really nitty. Here people are forced to place wider because there's more dead money in the middle, and people that play too nitty, they get really punished. So I think it's a great way to kind of punish the nitty players and get involved into some more pots. Like a hand here with a 10-5. Would be quite close otherwise, but with the ante it's definitely a call. A flop top pair. Plan here is to pretty much check call. If we raise here, we wanna raise maybe some jack 10, ace 10, but mainly 2 pairs plus. And then on the turn, depending on his sizing, we'll probably still always call. Obviously, when we pick up the flush draw, we have a very easy call. And then against the triple barrel, it gets somewhat close. Interesting now in the ace, with the option to either block bet or check. He's definitely going to have a decent amount of ace-x, but also some 9x, 8x. Some king, queen, king, jack that could bet, but I think I prefer the block bet slightly here. Is ace 9, which is not great, so it's getting quite thin here. But I'm always a bit more of a fan of block betting in this situation rather than checking. There's not that many bluffs, and we kind of bluff catching. When we block bet, we still have the chance to get some value. Here, with that many people calling, I think I like a squeeze here. Normally make it 14, maybe size it up here slightly. Just a lot of dead money that we can hopefully take down. If we're getting called, we're not in the worst shape. We're getting a re-raise. That's really interesting here. Flat in the re-raise. There's some merit to just jamming this, but I doubt he's going to fold much. This seems quite strong. I'll still call. This guy might be clicking buttons. We have a reasonable hand to call a 4-bet anyway. Maybe he gives us a free card, but he just jams it in. 16 to win, 65 here, 66. I think we kind of have to press call, but obviously it's not great. And then just fold it against the jam. Top right here. Let's go for a large c-bet on the connected 10 high board with our monster draw. Can't be doing much wrong as long as you put in money. It's kind of a value bet given how many runouts will improve with our hand. And then the Jack 10 here. This guy seems to be playing a lot of hands, so I'm gonna ISO that. And the 9-8, I think now we're just checking back. Pocket 9s, I'm going to 3-bet. So the general heuristic, or the general thing that happens here is that you, let's talk about the hands first. Checking back the 9-8 with the Jack 10. We can check, we can go for a small bet. I think both options are fine. I'm gonna start with a check. This guy seems quite splashy. And we now see a large bet with the 9-8 on table number 2, which is not great. And I think we are folding. We lose to a 10, we lose to a 5. Bluffs 8-6, got there. 4-3, could say we're bluffing. But how much is he calling? It's a big bet, so I think fold is the best play. Still gonna check my Jack 10 there. I need very, very little protection. And I want him to do something stupid. Or, you know, start blasting off, giving him some rope basically. And now I'm going for a block bet on the river. I doubt he's gonna have too many flush draws, checking twice. But maybe we can induce something. This time he just folds. A6 will be defending. So yeah, the point that I was trying to make is that you are forced to play more hands. You're supposed to 3-bet larger. You're supposed to open raise a little bit larger. And those who don't adjust enough for that get punished the most. The software still not the greatest, still some improvements that they can make, but they're doing nice promotions. You have decent rake back here, have a nice deposit bonus, so definitely a site worth checking out. And here we see a lot of funny action, limp over limp ISO, and call, and then a re-raise. I think King 10-0 is just too weak to do anything without any information. Just kind of keep in mind that these guys are quite splashy. We get pocket queens on table 1, a lot of action, a lot of hands, that's great. We'll be 3-betting. Again, gonna size up because of the ante tables. To be sure, 100%, I'm not 100% sure myself yet what sizings to pick, how wide you play, so it's all still a learning process for me as well. But that's kind of the fun of this. I think here against basically a main open with the ante out there, right? I think we just have to call our 9x offsuit hands. Then we'll call against a small bet. And the queen 7 will also call. 4-2 flush is not great. We basically have to fold now. Queens, we could range, but we could also check back. This is quite close. Either way. And then the queen 7 will also call against the min bet. Not much reason to do anything else. Turn 2 pair, which is great. We're just really hoping for him to check back. Goes for another small bet, which is a good sizing, against which we probably have to call another one more time. Maybe some of our 9x are indifferent, but I think calling one more is probably good, and then also calling here but not loving it against an overbet, and the queens are just a very easy check back. And now we even get counterfeit on river. We just really hope he checks back, and we're happy to check down queens. Lose to ace 10. Kind of lost the minimum there, so that's fine. And then the queen 9. Easy fold now on the river. And here with the queen 7, he overbet the turn, which is really unfortunate. So happy to see the check back there. Probably just like a missed ace or king of spades. I wanted to go for a max pressure on the turn, and then decided to give up on the river. Here we have a limper from under the, no, sorry, button is posting. We'll get action everywhere, defend everywhere. Here, don't mind calling out of the small blind with the recreational in there as well. Let's do it, let's get in the mix. Playing a bit splashy here, and we flopped really well on table number 1. Just gonna call here and then jam some turns with our top 2 pair. 8-7 here went check check after an open. We're just gonna keep on checking. Beautiful turn. We're not gonna fast play now. Just hoping he piles in money with his overcards. We river trips now. He can have some 7x, but I think playing an overbet here is good. Trying to get max from an ace or king that jack back. We're gonna have like jack 10, queen 10 with a heart that kind of want to take this line. The 7-6 gonna be calling here against a small bet, and the 6-5 actually going to check back, give him a chance to catch up. I think his overbears mainly keep betting, and if he has complete air like king jack off clubs, I want to give him a chance to pick up something. Gonna ISO my queen 6 suited here, although it's close. Another river, the question is just, do I want to jam? Do I want to go for a smaller sizing? Think I like the smaller sizing a bit better. I think he would have considered value betting his overpairs, and maybe I get a crying call from like pocket 9s or something. Don't think they really call a jam. We get a quick call. We don't see what we get called by with. People can muck here. We lose to 10-7 here. And here we ISO get called by the big blind behind. So we're just going to check and basically give this up. On the turn, I think we also want to keep on checking without any equity. We're not even having 2 overcards to a jack. We'd rather bluff a hand like king queen here. King 8 is a bit loose, but again against the recreational with hopefully weaker players behind, I think it's fine to ISO here. And now I don't mind bluffing this. Doesn't need to work that often if you go for a block bet, saying we have like a river 9. Just trying to make them fold their ace and king high hands basically. And we got it through this time. And then a king 8 on a low connected board. If we have a heart, we might fold out some better king high hands. So don't mind going for c-bet. And again, icing really wide with the being in position against the recreationals. And more dead money being out there. And then here, I like with my specific hand to go for a small c-bet. I get still caught by the a size, which I dominate. But I still get protection from a hand like queen 5 offsuit or queen 10-0. At a king 8 now, I'm just going to check back. I don't really have many 4x. We don't have a lot of equity. Just trying to hit one of my outs on one of my 2 overs. And we do. And now I think it's fine to go for value here. I think his 2 pairs very often lead out. He's going to have a hand like ace 5, ace 6. So let's value bet this one. And versus the pot size donk, it's not great. And I think against a small donk I would call against pot. I think I'm just folding. I'd much rather call a hand like 7-6 there with a redraw 10-7. My hand is already drawing dead to a straight. You saw me also opening wide there with jack 7 suited blind. It's, if somebody hasn't studied, they need to defend quite a bit wider here, blind, so it's quite easy to make that mistake there. Pocket 10s we can 4-bet or we can call. Both options are fine. If we 4-bet, we are kind of committed to stack off there. And if I assume people are a bit too tight 3-betting pre-flop, I'd rather just call this. And really good flop for the imposition, horrendous flop for us. With pocket 10s and a heart against 1/3, I think I could still call when he sizes up. Just want to fold right away all of my pocket pairs. Isolating the pocket jacks. We get another cold call from behind from what looks like to be a recreational. We get 3-bet again with pocket 8s. I think we're again calling. 8 big blinds is not that big of a sizing for ante games. From what I've seen, I think they should potentially even go larger. And with pocket jacks now, against a squeeze, I think 9-8 we can't fold, but wouldn't be surprised if it's a call with the ante ranges. And the question is, do we want to jam? Do we want to call with our pocket jacks? 9-3 big blinds is very large. I think I'm just going to jam this here. And the pocket 8 I'm going to check call. Very happy to take this down. You see a very good turn for us. Queen 10 we have to fold. Do we want to lead our hand? It's a bit annoying. Our hand is kind of in between. We have some 5x, but not that much. I think I'm still going to check. I'd rather lead out a hand that is a clear bluff or clear value hand. Not too much with merge type of hand. He bets again. I think we're still calling. I think 8C is probably better. We still beat the flush draws. We have chance to improve. Maybe 9s, 10s could already fold. And multi with the king 6 I'm going to check back. Queen is not great. It improves a lot of his missed flush draws. So really just hoping he checks back a hand like ace king, ace jack, ace 10 with the flush draw. And he goes for the fairly quick jam. I think we have a very easy fold. Pot size lead on the ace, obviously also a very easy fold. Yeah, I don't expect him to just barrel off jack 10 off diamonds here for 3 streets on a board where we'll have all the sets and we'll have a lot of straights. We have some ace queen that we river, so we don't really need to defend pocket 8s there. Curious whether on the turn we still want to call. Could be that we already want to fold on the turn. But I generally expect them to give up a bit too much on the river and kind of still play okay-ish on the turn, although there's definitely some guys at the lower stakes who are not in barreling enough on the turn, and then maybe you can just overfold on the turn already. Going for c-bet here with the ace king. The 10 is not great. Ace 10 gets there, king queen gets there, jack 10 gets there. Obviously good card for my overall range. The question now is just would I rather bet the turn or check back and bluff catch the river? I think I actually prefer betting the turn. Getting called by like ace queen, king jack, queen jack. Don't really see enough bluffs when I check back, and I'd rather get more value from a pair plus a draw, although it gets quite close with ace king. But you always kind of have to think of the alternative, and it's like if I check back and he bets on the river, I kind of turn my hand into bluff catcher. He's not really betting any jack x with a redraw, 10x with a redraw. And this way I either deny equity or get value. And if he's not really attacking me and sometimes bluff raising a hand like queen 10, I think the bet is just going to outperform.